Welcome to the Any Key Video Show, the place and platform for independent creators. I'm your host, Kenny Any Key Moore. This is a new artist episode. My guest has a new EP out, but before we start the show, would you do two things for me? First, go like and subscribe to the Minds of Creativity Facebook page and YouTube channel so you can check out the rest of the content and get alerts when new shows are available. Second, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Coach_ANY, KENY on X, TikTok, and Instagram. So you can check out other episodes of the show and keep up with the rest of the stuff that I'm doing. All right, my guest is ready and I'm ready, so let's get this show started. Now joining me is Jay Wright. He's a songwriter and producer from the Brooklyn, New York area. He's the next generation of the musical legacy of his legendary grandfather, the late Reverend Timothy Wright, and his father, Pastor David Wright. He has a new EP out called The Diary, so let's bring him on to talk about it. Jay, welcome
How
to the
you
show.
doing?
Thanks for
I'm
being
glad to be
on. How you
here.
doing?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Good. So listen, I always ask this question to start the interview with someone that's on with me for the first time.
Mhm.
And I just asked it to your dad, so I'm going to ask it to you. Here it is. Tell me your earliest memory of the moment you fell in love with music.
My earliest memory, it goes back to when I was 3 when I had first started. I don't remember like fully, but my grandmother, Betty Wright, she had gave me like this little toy drum. And I just remember me just beating on it every day, every chance I can get, just beating on it. And then from that point on, I could just tell like by my parents and everything, they was like, oh yeah, he gonna follow in the same footsteps as all of us. And I was like, I just got that love for it. Like even like when I was a youngin, like 5 years old, 6 years old, after church, I'll be the first person running up to the drums, playing drums, doing all of this, just like messing around with different instruments. So like I feel like that's when I really like got that love for it, and especially being the fact that I was around it my whole life.
Yeah, I think that's what happens is you're naturally just born into it and it's just part of your DNA. So when
Most
you come from
definitely.
a musical family, like for me, my great grandmother had a piano in her
Hmm.
house in Baltimore. And so always just mess around on it. And then like growing up in church, seeing it, I didn't even think about I didn't even know what was going on with the preacher. All I was looking at was the musicians.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You'd be sitting in that pit or sitting behind them or sitting beside them and
Hmm.
watching. Like
I'm telling you, dog.
that's where the love starts. So I
Yes,
totally get
sir.
it. Was
Absolutely.
there was there ever anything else that you wanted to do besides music?
See, it was a couple things. When I was a kid, I don't know where I got this from, but I wanted to be a pilot. I used to be super infatuated with like planes. Like every time I would pass the airport, I'm like, oh my God, look at that plane, this, that, and the third. I want to be a pilot. This clearly that never worked out, but we here. I'm glad I fell in the footsteps of music because this is genuinely what I want to do. It makes my heart happy, and I'm just 100% committed to it. So yeah,
Awesome.
most definitely.
So besides your family,
Hmm.
who are some of your biggest musical influences?
Besides my family, like,
Besides your family.
are we talking like artists or like musicians?
I'll tell you what. Give me your biggest influence in terms of a songwriter
Hmm.
and as a producer,
Okay.
or
The
some of them. You can
producer,
give me your top three, however you want to do it.
gotcha. So if I'm gonna do producers first. Producers, most definitely Troy Taylor. He's definitely like he plays a big part in like what I do today. And like I really admire how he works with his artists and just wants nothing but great things for them. He's a super humble guy too. Like he's very close to my family as well.
Okay.
Another another producer, I would say, hmm, another producer. I would definitely say because I'm moving to secular too, so I'll say Dr. Dre for sure. I like how he
Oh, of
used like
course.
back in the day, man. He's the goat, man. I'm telling you. And then if I'm
Yeah,
saying
no
like,
greats.
and if I'm saying like songwriters, um, let me see. I'm not sure about songwriters. There's a lot of those. I mean, but you said besides family, I was gonna say my grandfather, but
Of
besides
course,
family,
that
yeah,
that's already that goes without saying.
Most
So
definitely.
the influences, because we hear it in music. We're gonna get to that in a second, but I
Hmm.
was just curious to see if there's any other influences outside of your family that you.
Most definitely.
So with Troy Taylor, who was some of the artists that he's worked with?
Most of the artists that he worked with, well, he definitely did Chris Brown. Got Trey
Okay.
Songz. Trey Songz. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Queen Naija. He did a little tune with
Yes.
Queen Naija. So
Okay.
yeah, he's worked with like plenty of artists like that.
Gotcha. All right. So we're going to talk about the EP. We're gonna get into the EP right on the other side of this quick break. Stay tuned.
This thing on? Can you see me out there? All right, bet. Hey everyone, Day here, CEO of Day's Palette, and I am beyond thrilled to share some exciting news with you all about the next chapter for Day's Palette. What began as a makeup artistry has grown into something much deeper, a reflection of God-given purpose. When I sat and really thought about the deeper meaning behind Day's palette, I saw it as my palette, and each color on my palette represents all the many talents that God has blessed me with. While a major part of my palette is still enhancing the beauty that already exists through makeup and hair artistry, this is an extension of that mission. But it's not just for me. We all have a palette of gifts designed to glorify Him. So for my current and future clients, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You can breathe. Today, I am excited to announce the launch of Day's Palette apparel and accessories. This extension is more than just fashion, it's a message. Each piece is created to encourage you to reflect on your own gifts, your palette, and how you can use them to help strengthen God's kingdom. It's time to embrace our God-given gifts and bring color, light, and purpose to the world. Thank you in advance for all of your support. Stay tuned for daily updates, and I cannot wait for you to see what we have in store on this new journey at Day's Palette.
All right, the store goes live on February the 1st. And if you use code AKVS7, which is for the N Key Video Show, AKVS7, you will save 5% on your order. Go get that Day's Palette apparel and accessories. All right, we're back with Jay Wright, and he has a new EP out called The Diary. So, Jay, I listened to the EP, and you added your own spin to some classic songs recorded by your grandfather, right?
Yes, sir.
So give me a brief look into your creative process for the diary.
So yeah, my creative process. First off, it wouldn't be nothing without my brothers that helped me on this. Jace Meacham, Daniel Corsi, Joshua Blackwell, Jabaz, Coney, like all of them. We all just had like a creative mindset for this album. So the creative process really, we would start off like listening to like the classic song, like listening to the original, and then from there on out, we'll like come up with different ways. Yo, how can we switch this? How can we move this part here? How can we make this part more funky? How can we like, you feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
we just
Mm-hmm. Add some more
brainstorming
sauce
different
to it.
ideas. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And that was basically the vibe like throughout this whole album. So that's really what it was, like really creating everything. It was just all of us putting our minds together and just like coming to an agreement on what we was gonna do with each individual song.
Was there any apprehension or fear about going too far outside the boundaries of the original music?
It was at first, but then like it kind of switched up because it was just like we all wanted to just express our creativity and just like we definitely wanted to keep that classic sound so people can like know what they're listening to. So it just doesn't sound like too much off of the record, but like we still like put our own sauce to it to the point where it's like we just didn't want to like just be fearful of it. Just really just express our creativity throughout the song. So it wasn't really too fearful, honestly.
Okay. So give me when your dad first heard it, what was his reaction?
So my dad, he heard when we like first started brainstorming, and it was Trouble Don't Last Always. That was the first thing he had heard, and then he didn't hear everything else until it came out. So
Okay.
he heard Trouble Don't Last Always, and this is when we was brainstorming it. It was just keys, bass, and drums on it at this time, and he was feeling it. I ain't gonna lie, he was feeling it. He liked it. He even started getting on keys and started shedding around to it. So
Oh,
I
that
feel
says a
like,
lot.
yeah, he was
Let
really
you know
like
you're
he
on
was
the right
enjoying it.
track.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. So he enjoyed it.
Nice. So you talked about your collaborators. Talk about what specifically they added to. You shouted them out. Tell me what roles they played and what they did on the EP.
Yeah, so first off with Jace Meacham, he played mains and aux. Like him and Daniel Corsi, they both played mains and aux on different songs. He came up with a couple intros and outros with most of the songs, some of the songs, and yeah, Jace, he's a killer, man. He got everything back to me. Mind you, we did this album in like 15 days. So
Wow.
yeah, it was really dope. So he was a great person to work with. Daniel Corsi, same thing, main keys and aux. He came up with a couple things. He switched around. You're gonna make it. That's his idea. And Jace Meacham helped him out with that, of course. And Joshua Blackwell, he's the bass player. That's my brother. He killed the whole record, man. He shredded it. And then Jabez Coney, killer. He's on guitar on all those songs, just adding his little sauce to it, man. It was just it made the whole album easier. Being the fact that we did it in 15 days, but working with the right people, we got it done, and it was super dope. And I'm satisfied with the outcome. So
As you should be, because like I said, you took some classics and added some more sauce to them.
yes,
And
sir.
the thing about it is, especially with classic records, is if you're gonna touch them, you gotta take them to another level.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you guys did that. Now, was everything done remotely? Everybody tracked their own stuff?
Everybody tracked their own stuff. Daniel Corsi, he came to my crib like about 2 times to lay tracks on a couple songs, and then everything else he finished at his house. So yeah, everything was done remotely.
Yeah, that's the one that it's different, today's and let me ask you this. Um, because of the difference in how we record, do you prefer the remote or do you like to do in person? Uh, is there a preference?
I mean, it's not necessarily a preference. I feel like they're both like live sessions and studio remote sessions. They're both amazing in my eyes, honestly. So it just depends on the circumstance and the situation, honestly. But I don't have a preference when it comes to it.
Okay. Yeah, because I think now, especially with technology and with video chats and all that other stuff, like as long as you got the BPM,
That's
you
it.
put
That's
your
all you
eye, you
need.
know what I'm saying? You just cut and
that's,
paste, you know what I'm
that's it.
saying?
Most
So
definitely.
it's made the recording dynamic so different.
Hmm.
But it's fun at the same time because when you hear all those
Absolutely.
things come together, when somebody goes and takes your idea and then just adds on top of it,
Yeah, bro.
and you put it all together, man, it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Make your stuff come to life, man. It's dope.
Yeah, yeah, that's the win. All right, so as we get ready to um, turn the corner and wrap this thing up, so you got the EP out. What's next for you? What can people look forward to hearing from Jay Wright?
So I have another a single coming out with one of my good female friends. Her name is Alexa Jenkins. The daughter of Randy Jenkins. I'm not sure if you know the musician and remaking.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
please,
so
yes, yes.
yeah, she's an
Okay,
amazing singer. She's an amazing singer. So we're in the works working on a song. It's not gospel. It's like a little pop feel, but it's
okay,
that's an amazing thing. That's an amazing thing that we got in the works, and we should be hearing it. I don't have a release date yet, but it'll probably be released in about the next month or two. So that's definitely something that you guys should look forward to and just listening to.
good. All right. So tell my audience how they can connect with you and follow you on social media.
So my Instagram is Whojai WH0JAI, and then I feel like that's my most active social media outlet, honestly, because I don't be on Facebook or TikTok no more. So that's probably main my main like social media outlet
Okay. And if
where you can
people
find
want
me.
to contact you to do some work, how would they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. You can email me at wrightjai, WRIGHTJAI 83 at gmail.com.
All right. So listen, man. Like I said, you did some great work on some classic records,
I appreciate
and
that.
I told you, and as well as I told your dad, man, you got it. So
Man,
it's good to see that the next generation is still honoring the classics, but still are able
absolutely.
to give them life, right?
Absolutely.
Because you know, y'all generation, man, y'all are different. Y'all don't always respect the older generation. If we're keeping it
That's a
100,
fact. That's
you
a
know what I'm
fact.
saying. So the fact that you guys did this, I want to salute y'all and give y'all major props on that.
Man, I appreciate that. It means the world.
Yes, sir. All right, so look, man, your music has a home here on the Any Key Video Show. I need some visuals though. Next time you come on,
I
I
got
need
you.
some visuals.
I got
I need
you.
some visuals. So when y'all finish that pop record,
I
get
got you.
those visuals and y'all both come back and we'll talk about it. All right.
I got you. Most definitely.
All right, man. Thanks for being on the Any Key Video Show.
Absolutely. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Yes, sir. All right. That was Jay Wright. And that's going to be it for this episode of the Any Key Video Show. Again, I want to thank Jay for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, like your brands and services to be advertised and promoted on the show, or if you want your video to be featured on the show, send an email to KEbnMusicPub at gmail.com. Again, that's KEbnMusicPub at gmail.com. Subscribe to the Minds of Creativity YouTube channel, which is a part of the All Sports, All Plays network. So you can check out the rest of the content and so you can get the alert when new episodes are available. You can become a patron on my Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com/ANYKENY to get exclusive access to new content and free show merchandise. Or you can order your merchandise at the online store, which is kanmcollective.threadless.com. Again, that's kanmcollective.threadless.com. Shout out to all my patrons and people who have ordered merchandise. Really appreciate your support. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Coach_ANYKENY on X, TikTok, and Instagram. And on my Facebook music page, Any Key Music, which is spelled capital ANY, capital KE, lowercase b, lowercase n, and capital Y. Until next time, be positive on purpose.